Okay, so let's dive in. You shared some really interesting sources about this. Oh, well, this very strange find over in China looked like a giant skeleton.
That's right. Yeah, the reports you provided describe people in, I believe, a city in Hebei province just stumbling across something pretty weird.
Exactly. So, our mission for this deep dive, using the material you sent, is to figure out what was actually found or reported anyway. And maybe more interesting, why people reacted like they did. It ties into some really old beliefs.
Mm-hmm. It's definitely a deep dive into this reported discovery and, how it connects back to the legendary Chinese dragon, all based on that source info.
Okay, so the material describes folks in Zanjiku City, that's in Hebei province, finding this massive skeleton. And when I say massive, it was apparently, what, 18 meters long?
Yeah, huge. And the sources you shared pointed out some specific details too, like it had two small arms sort of sticking out near the middle.
Right, right. And a head that people said looked like a cow skull.
That's the description. What's really striking, though, is the reaction. Your sources had pictures, right? Showing villagers all gathered around, dozens of them.
Yeah, loads of people.
And the reports mention that a lot of the bystanders, well, they seemed totally convinced. They thought they were looking at the actual skeleton of a mythical creature.
A real dragon.
That was the belief reported among many who were there. Yeah, according to the material.
Okay, now this is where it gets fascinating. Comparing this find to, traditional Chinese dragons described in your sources, they're usually quite different from Western
Oh,
dragons.
absolutely. Your sources point this out clearly.
Yeah.
Not typically winged, fire-breathing creatures.
No wings, usually. They fly more by swimming through the air, kind of snake-like movements.
Exactly. And the look, the mythical appearance from your sources is just incredibly detailed. It's like a combination of parts from 9 different animals.
Mine. Wow, what kind of parts?
Well, the material lists things like lobster eyes, deer horns, a camel's nose, catfish mustaches, a lion's mane, a snake's body, fish scales, and even eagle claws. It's really a composite figure.
Definitely a composite. And didn't the material also mention a description from, like, the Han Dynasty?
Yes, it did. That one included things like a snake trunk, carp scales, a whale's tail, bull ears, and tiger feet. Different combinations over time, maybe, but always powerful attributes drawn from nature.
So mythologically speaking, what role does the dragon play according to these sources?
Your sources explain it's seen as a personification of yang, the active male principle.
Okay.
And it's tied to time and, crucially, a keeper of rain and water. Really fundamental elements.
Okay, that water connection is interesting because your material brought up an alternative idea, didn't it, from someone named Hein?
That's right. A theory suggesting early dragon myths might actually have roots in a real animal, Crocodylus porosus, an ancient giant crocodile.
A giant crocodile. How does that connect?
But apparently this type of crocodile was known for being sensitive to air pressure changes, which, often happen before rain.
Ah, so the idea is maybe that ability got interpreted as controlling the rain.
That's the theory presented in the source, yeah. It suggests that ability could have sparked the whole myth. And the material you shared even mentions crocodile worship in other ancient cultures, Babylonian, Indian, Mayan.
Interesting parallel. So the sources trace this kind of evolution, maybe from a real creature or a totem animal, perhaps?
Evolving into this complex, mythical being we recognize now.
Exactly. And what about today? Do people still believe dragons are real physical creatures?
Your sources suggest that belief is, well, probably sporadic. It's not widespread like it might have been. But the cultural importance, that's still huge.
Right.
The idea of the Dragon Kings as rulers of water and time, that persists strongly in cultural traditions, like Chinese New Year celebrations. Yeah. Deeply embedded.
Okay, so just to recap, we've looked at this pretty startling discovery reported in your sources, this 18-meter skeleton that got locals thinking dragon. And we've explored the really rich mythology from those same sources, the descriptions, the symbolism, and even possible links to real animals like ancient crocodiles.
Yeah, we covered quite a bit based on that material.
Myth.
And it really leaves you with a thought, doesn't it?
Come on.
Well, when you think about these deep links between ancient cultures, powerful animals like maybe crocodiles, and these myths that stick around for centuries, tied to vital things like rain and water, what does a report like this, even today, tell you about how legends just persist, how they shape or intersect with how we see the world around us? Something to think about.